It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and I've got a beer here that I'm kind of really looking forward to reviewing. It's a strong ale from Wadworth Brewery. It's called Old Timer. Best enjoyed at room temperature, which we have it. We have it at room temperature. It's a classic strong ale, strong malty aroma and full-bodied at 5.8% ABV. I'm looking forward to this because a lot of the beers that I had from Wadworth over my beer drinking journey, have generally been quite light in the ABV. They've all been kind of 4.5, percent ABV beers, and it's interesting to see a beer from Wadworth that is 5.8%, and it's got a bit of. I just want to see how they've done with this. They brewed it for over 50 years, but believe it or not, 50 years in the winter. So it's a bit of a winter warmer beer. We are in September. It's rained all morning, so it's kind of heading that way. It's an ideal beer for my day off, my Tuesday afternoon here in the kitchen. It's a 2-finger, slightly off-white head, deep amber colour to it, very deep amber. It's almost mahogany. Good levels of carbonation rolling up the middle of the glass. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, puts a smile to your face. It does. This is your equivalent of maybe your Green King hen's tooth, or your Fuller's ESB. Almost heading towards barley wine style beers, but because the recipe is well, it's 50 years old. The rest, at least, they probably brewed it on a small scale before releasing it to the public. So it's probably an older recipe than 50 years, if I'm honest. That's what I think. But it's got kind of a rummy, ruby. It smells like the 1950s. And I like that because the beer hasn't changed. It's a time machine in my hand. I'm going right back to probably just after the war. Well, the 1960s maybe. How old? Where are we? 2017 minus 50. I don't know. 1967. I don't know. It smells like a generation ago. It smells like my grandfather's beer. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, yes. Stone the Crows! Stone the Crows. This is a wonderful, wonderful beer. This is exactly what I want on a wet September Tuesday afternoon. Perfect. First thing I get is sensation. It's a nice tingle of carbonation as the liquid enters your mouth, and it fizzes and just pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth. It's got a very good body to the beer. It's biscuity and nutty and bready, and it's rum-like. There's a touch of raisin, there's a touch of fig, there's a touch of prune, there's a touch of vanilla, then maybe even a touch of woody oak in there. it's a beer that I think has been matured and looked after, and I think this is, because I've never heard of this beer. Wadworth were kind enough to send me the beer. Of course, this is an independent review. I couldn't care less if a company sent me a wagon load of terrible beer. I would still call it terrible beer. So I'm not standing here loving this beer because of the fact that Wadworth sent me the beer. They were very kind to send me the beer, but I'm reviewing this on an independent kind of scale. And I think it's great. It's toasty, it's nutty, it's biscuity, it's bready, with a nice bitterness on the back end. You've been out with a dog. You've stripped off your wet weather gear or your Big Mac because it's been cold and wet and rainy. And you've sat down to a hot meal and a good strong ale from Wadworth. This is what this beer is all about. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with this. It's my day off. My kids are in school. My wife's in work. I'm gonna put a film on now in the afternoon. I'm gonna kick back, put a movie on, and enjoy the rest of this beer. It's lovely. Wadworth Brewery Old Timer Classic Strong Ale. Where have you been all my life? 5.8% ABV. This is a fantastic beer. I like that enough to give it a Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! And cheers.